Hi, everybody. I'm Shonda Miles. Today, I want to talk to you about becoming a millionaire. This is my journey, and I want to talk to you through the process, my process, and hopefully you can take some of these things to help you in your process as well. And it doesn't matter the amount of money you want to make. It doesn't matter if you want to be a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you want to make 250,000. It doesn't matter if you want to make 500,000. It doesn't matter. The process you got to think through is the exact same. So the first thing I just want you to think about is who do I have to become to make $1 million? Who do I have to become? Who do I have to become to get clients to pay me $1 million? Who do I have to become to get one client to pay me $1 million? And so I started thinking about, okay, if I want to charge one client $1 million, that means that I need to have somebody who can pay $1 million and still run their business. So the next thing I'm thinking about is, what is a $10 million solution, or what is a $100 million solution that I can offer to an organization that they will pay me $1 million? So you got to start thinking about what value you can offer. What can you offer a client that they are willing to pay you $1 million? What has to happen? What has to happen? Who do you have to become? What do you have to do? What are your daily habits? What are you doing every single day to be the person who can charge $1 million and the client thinks they got a discount? Who do you have to become to offer a $10 million solution or a $100 million solution to one organization? So that's what I'm thinking about. So the way to start this is think about, what problems do you currently solve, or what problems can you solve? And so this is something that you want to just write down. You want to have a brainstorming session. What problems do you solve? What problems can you solve? What solutions do you need to offer to these problems? What solutions can you offer to these problems? I heard Donnie Wiggins say, when the conversation changes, compensation changes. So if we want our compensation to change, we got to change our conversation. We got to start thinking about things and talking about things differently. So the way a person who makes six figures, they talk different than a person who is a millionaire, who makes $1 million in revenue. Who can charge $1 million in revenue in their business for a solution. So when I think about wanting to charge one client $1 million, you got to be thinking about, can you charge 2 million instead of 1 million? And so the reason why I say 2 million instead of 1 million is because you got to be thinking about, when you charge one client $1 million, what are your expenses going to be like? Like, how much time are you going to spend with that client? What are your expenses going to be to work with a client for $1 million? And so I always like to have a cushion there for taxes, administrative expenses, all these different things that we'll have to, if you have to hire somebody else to help you to fulfill the engagement, how much will you have to pay them? But when you think about it realistically, by the time you pay your expenses and all that, how long will this engagement be? Will it be for, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year? But just think about what solution you can offer. Is it consulting? Is it a video going viral and then you're getting access to 1 million people or 2 million people that you didn't have access to before that you could sell? You can look at, okay, when you're talking about offering a $2 million solution to a company, how do you have to look? How do you show up on social media? What does your messaging look like? So what would you say that would let someone who has a $200 million problem or $20 million problem, letting them know you have the solution for $2 million? What do you have to say? What does the messaging have to see? What does someone who pays $2 million for a service, what are they looking for when they're online? What are they looking for in a service provider? What problems do they have? And then what are they looking for to have someone to come in and give them a $2 million solution that will make them or solve a $20 million problem or $200 million problem? Who are these people? Who are these people who can pay $2 million for a solution? Who are these organizations? Who are these CEOs? And so when I think about it, it has to be a company that's typically making over $500 million per year in revenue. And then the next thing I start looking at is, okay, who are the top companies? What are the top companies in the world? What are the top companies in the world as far as revenue is concerned? And then what problems do they have? What problems do they have that I can solve for a $2 million solution? And then we can look at $1 million launches. So if I'm going to do a launch where, let's say I don't want to work with corporate executives or corporations, so I don't want to deal with the red tape in corporate America, but I want to work with in group coaching with business owners, corporate professionals. What can I do to have $1 million day? What can I do to make $1 million in an hour? What does that look like? What is the solution that I'm willing to offer, that I can offer in a spirit of excellence to my clients? So is that solution a $25,000 solution, a $50,000 solution? But what are the numbers? Like, how do you have $1 million launch? How do you make $1 million in an hour? And so what we know for sure is that it's been done before. So we just got to figure out, okay, what do I have to offer? Who am I, and what do I have to offer that I could offer a $25,000 or a $35,000 or a six-figure offer? What does that look like? You know, can I have somebody come in for one day and pay $100,000 for consulting? So we got to look at that. And then finally, we have a $25,000. So whenever you think about compensation or revenue or how much you can charge somebody, I always think about, how can I 10x or 100x this person's investment? So if I offer a $25,000 solution, then this business owner is expecting to receive $250,000 in compensation in some way, whether it's reduced cost of $250,000 or it's increased revenue of $250,000. So just something to be thinking about when we have this conversation. And if you want to be a millionaire, you got to have a different conversation. Your mindset has to be different. And so this is one of the first steps that you want to just think about in this journey for yourself and it doesn't matter the amount of money, right? The conversation, what you got to be thinking about is the exact same. You got to sit down and ask yourself these questions, regardless of how much money it is that you want to make. And of course, there's layers to this, right? There's a lot of things to consider, but this is one of the things you want to be thinking about initially is what's a $1 million solution that you can offer to an organization, and then who has $1 million problem that you can solve and help them to make $100 million or $10 million from your one solution. What problems do they have, and then what solution can you offer? Something to be thinking about if it's your goal to increase your income, particularly if you are want to increase your income to $1 million in 1 year, or you want to have $1 million day, $1 million hour, or $1 million launch. So maybe that's a few days, but just something to be considering. We'll talk about this more and more. We'll kind of just add more and more to this.